Welcome to the Yellow Belt Training Class 8. Let's begin. Kyosuke. Right. Yo. Let's begin with prayer. God, again, we thank you for the many blessings that you have given to us. Lord, thank you for your majesty and your power, Lord, of creation. God, I pray for strength and wisdom and patience as we work through these techniques today. Lord, I pray for safety as we train hard. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's review the character quality patience. Patience versus restlessness. Enduring a difficult situation with a positive attitude. Rejoice in our confident hope. Be patient in trouble and keep on praying. Romans 12:12.
Let's warm up. Jumping jacks, begin. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey! Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey! Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey! Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey! Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, up down, ich, ni, san, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, side to side, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, forward and back, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, on rotations forward, small, ni, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, reverse, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, big ones forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, over and under, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, kame, swing backs, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, twist the ball of your foot, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, stretch to your side, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, twist punch, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, torso rotations, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, other direction, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju to the side. High block. Reverse punch. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Legs apart. Stretch up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Down. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. To the side. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Ankle rotations. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Hip rotations. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Side to side. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Front kick stretch. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Mid-level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Switch. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Mid-level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Side. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Mid-level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju. Other side. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Ju, mid-level, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Knee rotations, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, other direction on ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, in and out, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, calf stretch, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Mountain climbers, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, and yummy. Squat kicks. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Push-ups. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Front snap kick. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Hey, switch. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Hey, roundhouse kick, lead leg. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Hey, switch. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju. Hey. Balance drill. Right leg up. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju to the side. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, back. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, roundhouse forward. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, and relax. Other leg up. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju to the side. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, back. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, roundhouse forward. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, and relax. Now we're going to work on the back stance some more. Let's look at the details of how do we turn in the back stance smoothly without tripping over ourselves. Now, the front stance had some challenges, whereas we had to move this foot over here, we had to try to maintain our balance, and as we twist, we wanted to make sure that we didn't fall over. Fortunately, with the back stance, it is a lot easier. Now, the back stance is actually a more difficult stance to move forward and back in, and to be able to do some techniques, it requires a little bit more strength and flexibility. However, the turning in the back stance is the easy part. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I will go ahead and use this line so you can see at a back stance, we want to be on one line here, one foot pointing forward, one foot pointing at 90 degrees. We have most of this weight on our back leg. Now, to turn around, all we have to simply do is reposition our feet because it's in one line already. We stay in that one line. We reposition our feet and we shift our weight. Here my weight is about here, mostly on this leg. If I want to turn, I shift back to here, pushing out on this leg, making sure my knee is over my toe. Okay, so if I was here in a back stance, knife hand block, to turn, back. Make sure I'm pushing here. I want to make sure that I don't let that knee collapse as I turn. So as I turn, be thinking about pushing back on this leg. And sometimes when I practice this, it helps just push back on that leg. So I'll turn, push back, keeping that solid. Turn, back. So let's go ahead and do this together. Find a spot and get into a line. I'll go ahead and be at this side view so that you can watch together. And get into a back stance. You can have your hands on your hips, have your hands relaxed. Let's go ahead and have our hands relaxed for this section and push out on that leg as we turn. So let's do this slowly. The first thing we're going to have to do, turn this foot, turn that foot, and reposition. Now, when we do this later on, we're going to do all this at the same time. So there's not really a what comes first, second, and third. It all happens simultaneously. But for now, let's do it one at a time. Foot, foot, step back. Back foot, front foot, step back. 1, 2, 3. Now let's go ahead and do it one smooth motion. Concentrate on pushing that leg back. Here we go. Ich, ni, son, shi, go. Okay, let's continue. Put your hands on your hips. Let's not hit here, but think about that as you do this. Ich, ni, son, shi, go. Rook, sich, hach, gu, Ju, and Yame. Excellent. So that is how you turn in a back stance. Now we're going to work on a very important aspect of the back stance, and that is, what do your hips do? Now the hips are very important in the movement in the back stance. Now in the front stance, when we did our hips would be in the open or closed position, and this is mainly for how your arm technique would be. And when you step forward, most of that momentum of going forward is by pushing off of that back leg. Because of the angle of the foot and the legs, we push forward, our hips do go forward, and then it stops. But most of that power for that front stance comes from that back leg pushing. Now in the back stance, we don't have as much pressure that we can use because our foot is off to the side. If our foot was pointed forward, we have more ability to push forward. But because it's off to the side, we are limited on that range to be able to push forward. So the hips then become crucial in what happens next. So initially, as we move forward, we push off this leg, and that gets us started. Okay, gets us started, but it really doesn't get us far enough. It will get us going to about the halfway mark. Now at this halfway mark, what we need to do is we need to engage the hips and use the hips to rotate quickly to bring this leg to slingshot it forward. So I push. Now I'm going to engage my hips. Hips are what's going to finish the leg, and then that's really just a break. Okay. Go ahead and watch from this view as I push. Okay. Push. Now my hips will engage, twist. And they're going to twist out quickly, bringing this leg out, shooting the leg forward, and then stopping there. Watch as I do this. Okay, let's go ahead and practice this together. We'll step through it a few times slowly to try to understand the relationship with the hip and the leg, and then we'll have some time just practicing back and forth. Go ahead and step back into a back stance. You can either be straight forward or off to the side, whatever works best for you to see the camera. Push. And then from here, think about twisting those hips. Twist, pushing that leg out into a stance. From here, let's go ahead and just turn around. Step, hips forward. Now, twist, bring that leg out. Turn. Forward. Twist. Turn. Forward. Twist. Turn. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Forward. Twist. Turn. Forward. Twist. Turn. Now, if you find that as you're doing this, this leg is collapsing, go ahead and hit that leg, just like we did when we practiced the turning a few moments ago. So go ahead and go here, and then as we go here with our hips and our leg, push out there to remind you to lock that leg. Turn, forward, twist. Turn, forward, twist, turn, forward, twist. And Yame, relax for a moment. Excellent. So hopefully you see the importance of that hip moving forward. Now, take a moment with me, and let's try that stance without any hips. Let's see what happens. Now that you've felt the power with the hips, let's do an experiment. Let's go ahead and push here. Now what I want you to do is just push and then bring your leg forward into the stance and then turn. And see how that feels. Push, and don't use your hips at all. just put your leg and then turn. And you're going to feel real quickly that it's lacking a lot of power now because I'm not using those hips to force my leg forward. So if I just use my leg, turn, that is lacking a lot. Now one more time, let's go ahead and do it with our hips, strong, and see the difference. Here, concentrate on those hips first. Hips, turn, hips, and yame. So hopefully you see a good difference between using your hips or not. Let's go ahead and practice that. Try to go smoothly without stopping in the middle a few times together. Go ahead and have one leg back. And we'll go kind of a medium speed with kind of a medium hip thrust there. Each. Turn. Knee. Turn. Son. Turn. She. And turn. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Each. And turn. Knee. Turn. Son. Turn. She. And turn. And yame. So as you practice the back stance, whenever you do it with whatever technique that you're doing, remember this is where the power comes from. The hips is what gets the stance quickly to the next spot. So make sure that you concentrate on that portion of the back stance as you practice it. Let's spend some time reviewing the knife hand block in the standing position. Go ahead and start by putting one arm out and one arm to protect here. Now remember, as we do this, we want to make sure that we fully contract here and then expand here. What we don't want to do is just use the arms as we do a technique like this. We want to get used to using the full muscle range of the full contraction and expansion to be able to have it be the most effective use of the technique. So as we do this, remember, 1, contract, 2, expand. Let's go ahead and go through this a few times together, nice and slow. Each, knee, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey. Now remember also, as we do this, it's good to visualize where your opponents are. Visualize what you're blocking and make sure that you hit at the right spot. Okay? We want to make sure that we turn and that we're using the correct section. We don't want to hit parts that would damage us if we hit in the wrong spot. So make sure that you visualize and that you visualize going just far enough on that technique. Let's go ahead and do this a few more times, just standing, thinking about all of the things on the knife hand block as we do this. Ich, knee, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey! Let's continue on. Let's go medium speed. Ich, knee, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey! Continue on. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey, and yame. Let's work on our knife hand block in a back stance, stepping in forward and back slowly. Go ahead and step back with your right leg into a back stance and knife hand block with your left arm. Let's step forward slowly together. Ich, back, knee, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey, and relax. Now as we do this, we have two challenging techniques. Always stepping forward and backwards in a back stance is challenging. And then knife hand block is sometimes challenging as well. And putting them together, sometimes it creates some confusion and some challenging. Just work through it and play this portion of the video as often as you need to where you can get to where it's a smooth transition. And then after it's a smooth transition, you'll start working on things like timing, gripping the floor, putting all of those things together. For now, I mainly want you to concentrate on making that one smooth motion. Let's go and do the other side. Other leg back. Nice and slow, just work on that smooth transition. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, jukia, hey, and yame. Excellent. Spend as much time as you need watching this video till it gets nice and smooth, and then later on you'll be able to start working on some of those other aspects of the knife hand block and the back stance that we've been working on. I want to talk a moment about as you turn in the knife hand block to do another knife hand block. Go ahead and watch as I do this. Turn. Turn. Now there's several different things that I want to discuss here, and one of those is when do you do the block or move your arms in relationship to the feet? And there's not one specific answer that works for everyone because everybody's body type is different. Everybody has faster or slower legs or arms or more or less flexibility. Now the idea though is the same, but exactly the timing will be different for each one of you. So let's go over the idea, and then what you'll need to do is practice that idea to see what works specifically for your body type. So the idea is this, that when I turn, when I finish my feet and my arm and gripping the floor and tightening my body, I want all of it to end at the same time. Now, our arms can move faster. They're a smaller muscle group. They can usually move a lot faster than our lower body. Lower bodies is a bigger muscle group, so it takes longer to move. So what we want to do is we want to try to make that timing happen to where as I turn and I start moving my lower body, my upper body will be contracted at a certain point, and then as my hips finish, the timing works to where my hand finishes at the same time. So we have some general ideas of how that works for everyone. We need to, as we're turning, start this contraction and get to this halfway point here. And then as we turn, we want to start moving the arm at this point and have them end at the same point, the same time. I go the other direction, and at the same time. in at the same time. So let's go ahead and practice this. Go ahead and get into a stance. We'll go slow to begin with. Try to feel how that timing works. Go ahead and turn and block. Turn, block. Turn, block. Turn, block. Now let's speed up a little bit. Let's go medium to full speed so you can start getting an idea of how these things work together. Here we go. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, and yame. So go ahead and work on that turn with that knife hand block, remembering the end goal is to end everything at the same time. So you'll need to spend some time working on that based off of your body type, your speed, and your flexibility, to where eventually you'll get to where they will end at the same time every time. Now we're going to go ahead and work on 2 stances and 2 different techniques in a little drill that you can do in a small area, whether it's in your living room or if you have a small space. This is a great drill that you can do to practice these 2 techniques together and work on the foot positioning and the body. Let's go ahead and start by stepping back with your right leg, low blocking with your left arm. And from here, we're going to do a reverse punch. So this will be our starting position, reverse punch. Our first move is we're going to take our front foot and slide it forward into a knife hand block. From here, put that foot back, reverse punch. Now we're going to go ahead and do the knife hand block, but this time we're going to take this back leg and go backwards. So halfway to knife hand block, bring the back leg back over knife hand block. From here we're going to go back to that reverse punch, bringing that foot back over, reverse punch. So what we just did was knife hand block, reverse punch, stepping that direction. Now knife hand block, reverse punch, stepping back. Now you notice that we are stepping one direction on the reverse punch one way, and then the other direction with the back foot. So it's important that we make sure that we could do a reverse punch by adjusting the front foot, or we can do a reverse punch by adjusting the back foot. Same with the knife hand block, being able to adjust into a knife hand block, whether we adjust the front or the back leg. Let's go ahead and do this a few times. Start with a reverse punch. Here we go, nice and slow. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey! Switch legs. Start with a reverse punch. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey! And yame. Go ahead and take some time and work on this sequence. Go ahead and rewind and watch through it several times if needed, to where you can do that comfortably. And then later on, we'll work on medium and full speed on that technique.
We're now going to work on combination number 13. This is the knife hand block in a back stance and then step forward punch in a front stance. A few things that I want to go over before we do this is, remember, as we do the knife hand block and we step forward, this foot's going to stay there. This hand's going to stay here like this. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and step into this punch with the stance. And from here, I'll make the fist and then punch and pull back the other hand. So watch as I do this here. Knife hand block, step forward, switch to the punch. And from here, punch. Let's go ahead and do this. Knife hand block, back stance. Step forward punch into a front stance. Nice and slow. 5 principles. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. And yame. Let's do it again. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. Ich. Knee. And yame. Let's go ahead and do this. 1 count per side. Slowly. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. And yame. One more time. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. And yame. We're going to work on combination number 14 now. This is a continuation of combination 13, so make sure you have combination 13 down well before moving on to 14. So in 14, what we're going to do is we're going to add a front snap kick in between the knife hand block and the stepping punch. A few things to watch as you do this. From here, this knife hand block, we're going to do our kick, and our hands are going to stay where they're at. We're not going to move our hands around. Remember, we want minimal movement. Kick, and then from here, we're going to create that fist and do a stepping punch. So watch as I do this. Kick, punch. So let's do this. Combination number 14. Knife hand block, front snap kick, stepping punch. Let's go ahead and do 1 side per count slowly. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. Anyway, let's do this again. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. And yame. We're going to work on combination 15 now. This is a knife hand block in a back stance and then shift to a front stance reverse punch. Now we've done some of this in the past, but I want to point out a few things to concentrate as we do this. When we're in the knife hand block in the back stance here, we're simply going to take this foot and move it to the side, and now we're going to throw our punch from here. We're not going to come back or make any extra motion. We're simply going to move the foot And now from here, we can use our hip rotation and do the reverse punch. So, knife hand block, back stance. Foot goes over. From here, reverse punch, using those hips on that reverse punch. Let's go and do this combination. Knife hand block, back stance, reverse punch, front stance. 1 count per side, nice and slow. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. And yame. Let's do that again. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. And yame.
Let's spend some time reviewing the outside-inside block. Go ahead and put your hands in your chamber and have your right arm out in front of you. Let's do this slowly together. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. And relax. Excellent. Now let's talk real quick about some of the important points that we need to be remembering as we do this block. So as we do this block, remember the arm comes out here while this arm comes up. And remember, this arm is more of just to be able to get ready. There's a lot of things that will happen with this arm in the future. As if we block somebody, I could grab somebody. It could be a control element. So this arm comes up and up here. And remember, we want to work on our timing. The timing is always very important. So I want to make sure that this twists into the chamber at the same time that this arm twists. Also making sure that I'm going to hit with this part first and then twist. Okay, let's go ahead and do this at a medium speed together. Right arm out. Ich. Knee. Son. And remember, as we tighten your entire body for that brief moment, and then relax. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Kya. Hey! Let's continue. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Kya. Hey! And y'all may relax. Now remember, as we do this block, along with every block that we do, we want to make sure that as we block, we only block far enough to miss the technique. Sometimes you might end up blocking here as you're concentrating on all of these other techniques. And if you think about it, as I block here, it really doesn't do a lot. And then if you overcompensate, you're going to open yourself up. So make sure that when you're doing these blocks, that you're visualizing where your opponent is, and you only go far enough, just enough, to make that block effective. Let's spend a few moments doing the outside-inside block as we step forward and back in a front stance. Step back with your right leg and low block with your left arm. This command would be Migi Yoshura Zunkutsuratsuka Nambarai. Hey! Hey! Stepping forward. Outside-inside block. Medium speed. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. Switch legs. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. And Yame. Let's go through combination number 9 now. Medium speed. This is the low block, hammer fist strike, stepping punch. 1 count per side. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Okay. Let's do that again. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Okay. One more time. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Hey. Yame. We're going to go ahead and continue to work on the hammer fist strike. Now, we have practiced the downward hammer fist strike. We're going to go ahead and work on the side hammer fist strike. Now, eventually, the goal is for every technique is to be able to take any technique that we have, whether it's a punch, block, strike, kick, and be able to do it to any direction at any level. So we need to be able to block low to high in any direction. We need to be able to punch low to high in every direction, strike low to high in every direction. So this is just continuing to build on this hammer fist strike of hitting right here. We've done this one here. Now we're going to work on the side one. The side one looks like this. I'm going to have my arm placed underneath, and I'm going to come across and simply strike to the side. Here, watch this view. I'll look to the other side. This hand comes underneath with the striking part out and strike. Now you notice how something that's a little bit different with this technique than other techniques is that we don't have a lot of twist action happening on the hammer fist strike. This one doesn't need a lot of twisting because, as hopefully you've been able to hit some things a bag with this, it is a very strong technique as it is as just a hammer. So we're going to come across and then hammer and bringing into the chamber. To the other side, this arm will come across underneath, hammer. Go ahead and do this with me. Go ahead and stand and hold one arm out. Look to the other side. Bring this underneath, this arm across. Now, twist. The other direction. Here, now at this point, this is your halfway point. This is where you have the full contraction and expansion of your muscle groups that we had talked about previously. And now, strike. The other direction. Strike. And the other direction. Strike. Now to begin with, we're going to go underneath. Later on, we're going to go above and around. There's a lot of variations to this. To begin with, though, we're going to just go underneath to here. Let's go ahead and practice this in the horse stance. We're going to do this with a horse stance and a reverse punch in a front stance. Go ahead and watch how I do this. So we're going to strike, step, reverse punch, step back, hammer fist strike. This is very similar to the knife hand block where we step across and back. Then we'll go to the other side, strike, reverse punch, hammer fist strike. Go ahead and do this with me. Get into a horse stance, strike to one side. Now step, reverse punch, step forward, hammer fist strike. Other side, hammer fist strike, reverse punch, hammer fist strike. Other side, each, knee, son. 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 And yame. Go ahead and practice that sequence. Get to where you feel comfortable with this side hammer fist strike. Now we're going to work on learning a new kata. This kata is called Heian Shodan. And in the Christian karate, we attach the character quality patience to this kata. So when you announce this kata, you will say Heian Shodan, patience. Now the Heian's katas, there are actually 5 katas in this series. So if you've looked ahead and you've seen the kata list for the Christian karate, you're going to see that there's 5 of them that start with the word Heian. And then there will be other words like Shodan, Nidan. Now, Heian in itself, the Japanese translation means peaceful mind or at peace. And then Shodan means first. So now you're going to be learning Heian Shodan, and then later on you'll be learning Heian Nidan, Heian Sandan, Heian Yandan, and then Heian Godan. Now, Heian Shodan uses a lot of the same foot movements that we learned in Taikyoku Shodan. So what I want to do real quickly before we work on Heian Shodan and learning it, I want to show you the differences real quick so that when we get there, it won't be as much of a surprise. Now in the beginning, the first 3 moves are actually the same as Taikyoku Shodan. We will do a low block and a punch to this direction, and then we turn and do a low block to this. Now up to this point, it's exactly the same. At this point, we're going to do the combination that you've done in 5 principles. We turn our arm, we pull back, hammer fist strike, and step forward punch. The next move is the same, where it's a low block. Now here's where things get different. From here, we're going to do an open hand, high block slowly. And then there will be a series of stepping forward high blocks to the Kia. Now at this point, from the Kia, the rest of the kata up to the next Kia is the same as Taikyoku Shodan. So this will be a review where we have a low block and punch, low block and punch, and then a low block with 3 punches into the Kia. Now, again, here's where things are different. The last 4 moves of the kata are a knife hand block in a back stance, and then a knife hand block at a 45, and then a knife hand block, and then a knife hand block at a 45, and then back to Yoi position. So those are the differences and kind of an introduction into the hand Shodan kata. Let's go ahead and move to the other studio, and we're going to go ahead and step through. So we'll go ahead and get ready to step through this with me and to learn hand Shodan. Let's step through hand Shodan one move at a time. Kyosuke. Great. Yoi. Hand Shodan. Patience. Turn, low block. Step forward punch. Turn back, low block. Twist your arm, pull back. Downward hammer fist strike. Step forward punch. Turn, low block. Open your hand, open hand, high block. Step forward, high block. Step forward, high block. Step forward, high block, kia. Hey! Turn, low block. Step forward, punch. Turn back, low block. Step forward, punch. Low block. Step forward, punch. Step forward, punch. Step forward, punch, kia. Hey! Turn, knife hand block, back stance. 45 degrees, knife hand block, back stance. Turn back, knife hand block, back stance. 45 degrees, knife hand block, back stance. Step back, Yoi position. Kyosuke. Ready? Yoi. Go ahead and spend time practicing this as often as you need. Rewind and watch it again and again until you feel comfortable with the moves before moving on in the next lesson. This concludes Yellow Belt Training Class 8. Now it's time for a personal cool down, and what I'd like you to do today as you do your personal cool down is take a look at the screen. We're going to go ahead and display the new character quality patience on there, and go ahead and work through that and think about that and try to get that memorized. Kyosuke. Ready? Yoi.